The 8 on the Break arcade in Dunellen hails itself as the longest continually running arcade in the United States. It opened in 1973. It also has a system of keeping generations of teenagers in line that is the stuff of local legend. News 12's Brian Donahue met some folks in arcade exile.
You're not going to get thrown out, and I'm not going to be banned for life for coming in here with you, am I?
Yeah, you might be guilty by proxy.
Under cover of darkness, Susan Murphy is returning to a place from which she's been banned since 1983, the 8 on the Break arcade in Dunellen.
They spelt it wrong.
She finds her maiden name, Sue Zahor, on the arcade's infamous extreme exile list that has hung near the snack counter since 1973.
Yeah, these are definitely from the 80s.
169 people whose adolescent shenanigans, from stealing soda to putting fake quarters into the machines to, well, offenses no one can quite remember, has them still banned to this day. Murphy's children are grown now, but when they were young, they would run into the arcade and then delight that their mom couldn't come in herself.
Mom is banned on an exile list.
All for what she called panhandling, the excessive bumming of quarters. Yes, time may have passed, these kids may have grown up and changed their ways, but at 8 on the Break, a life sentence is a life sentence.
You can only get off the list by dying, that was the way.
Owner Chris Cotty inherited the list from the previous owner when he bought the place in 1985. The arcade wasn't seen favorably by town fathers, and Cotty knew he needed to run a tight ship.
And there was always the aura of the arcades being a dark, bad place, bad for the children.
So Cotty kept the list and kept adding names.
I didn't think it was like that serious, so I would I tried coming in like a couple days later, and Chris, the owner, was there, and he's like, nope, that's it. That's it, Hodja, you're done.
Brian Hodja remembers setting off a joke store stink bomb in the arcade, but thinks it was sneaking behind the snack bar and pouring himself a soda that got him banned sometime in the mid-90s when he was 13 or so.
And I'm like, for how long? I remember him telling me for life. And that was like a life sentence in prison for me, because that was my childhood.
And so for years, he could only come in on Halloween when he was wearing a mask. Some have gotten off the list by ways other than dying. One person emailed me saying he was hired to repair the arcade's air conditioning years after being banned. After finishing the job, he snuck over and erased his name himself. And Brian Hodja said he was reinstated 5 years after his banishment, after Cotty saw him help police search for a missing girl.
He's like, hey, kid, he's like, consider yourself removed from the exile list, and I didn't even know how to take that. That was felt like I hit the lottery.
And on this night, Cotty seems to think some clemency is in order for Murphy, too.
So she's allowed back in here now?
Back in.
All responsible adults are allowed back. Yes.
Although I think she pretty clearly better watch her step. I'm Brian Donahue. That's Positively New Jersey.